Hello guys, nice to see you again. So today we're going to get focused on the second grammatical topic included in the second unit included in this second partial from this second semester. So we're going to get focused on questions with how, but first I want to have like a general review of of questions in English. So we already know that we have two types of questions, the yes-no question and the open questions. From the yes-no questions, most of the times, or we're going to have an auxiliary, and it will change depending on the tense. So for example, over here, for simple present using the verb to be, we're going to use are, is, or am. For verb to be in simple past, were, was, or were. For simple past, did. For simple present, do or does. Then also we can use modals like the ones that we used the last week, like could, should. Okay, and if the auxiliary is the first thing that we have in the questions, then this means that our questions is going to have just two answers. It will be a yes or a no. For example, are you happy? Yes, I am. No, I'm not. Were you happy? No, I wasn't happy. Or yes, I was happy. Did you eat pizza yesterday? Yes, I did. Or no, I didn't. Do you do your homework? No, I don't do my homework. Yes, I do my homework. Yes, I do. Okay, guys. So these are the yes/no questions. But also, we're going to have some open questions using the famous double H questions, such as what? Do you remember what is the meaning of what? Do you know more? Double H questions. What about where? Who? Whom? Which? And what? When? We're missing. That's an important one. Okay, but also we're going to have other of these type of words that are going to change our questions into an open question, or into an open question, such as how. What is the meaning of how isolated? Es como. Okay, but we're going to join the word how with other words in order to create or to make new questions. So for example, if we use how much, the meaning of how much is, it will be cuánto. Okay, how many, cuántos, cuántas, how old, qué tan viejo, how long, qué tan largo, puede ser de tiempo o de distancia, o how often, qué tan seguido. Okay, so we're going to place how much at the beginning of our sentence, and sometimes we're going to add an extra word. Over here, it will be how much plus auxiliary plus subject plus verb plus complement. For example, how much water should you drink every day? How much money do you spend? How much food did you eat? So over here, remember that when we use much, we have to add in this line. It is not mandatory to add it, but it's going to be like a more specific of the question that you're asking. It will be an uncountable noun. So for example, water, money, time, how much time. And over here, for how many, we're going to ask about countable nouns. So it is basically the same structure, but we're going to change the thing that we're asking about. So for example, how old are you? How old were you? How old is my father? How long? How long is the movie? How long did you spend? How often do you go to church? Not nowadays, right, guys? Okay, so then we're going to continue with compound adjectives. Compound adjectives is something similar like we did over here, is that when we join words, we're going to create new meanings. So for example, mouth, what is the meaning of mouth? Mouth is something that you have in your face in order to eat, vocab. And watering is like the noun water, but we're using it as a verb. Mouth watering, the meaning of that in Spanish, it could be something like hacerse agua a la boca. Entonces cuando a alguien se le hace agua a la boca es when it tastes really good, right? Then we have homemade, that it's produced or it's made in a house, not in a factory or something like that. Heartwarming, you already know what is the meaning of heart. It's corazón. And warming or warm is cálido, so it will be heartwarming, que te hace cálido el corazón, pues es algo reconfortante. Okay, then we have lifelong, and this means that it's for all your life, de larga vida. For example, when you buy a car, it should be lifelong. Cuando compres un coche, pues es algo de larga vida, no es algo que nada más compres pues cada fin de semana. Stress free, that something that it's relaxing, that doesn't produce any stress. And I think stress is something that we use really frequently in Spanish, so I think it's not going to be a problem over there. Homegrown is almost the same as homemade, but over here we're talking about grown, cultivar, entonces sería cultivado en casa. We're not and over here it's like the general action. Then we have low calorie. It's for example that it doesn't contain a lot of fat. Fat free, it will be something similar of this. Low salt, that it doesn't contain salt. Middle age, it refers to the age of a person that it's like in the middle. It's not too old, but also not that young, right? Guys, so let me explain you what are you going to do today. So what you have to do is that you have to go over page 128, and over here in the first activity you have to match the compound adjectives with the meanings from the box in blue. Then you have to place some of these adjectives into the context, into the correct context. And over here basically you have the grammar that I already explained you. Over here how much for exercise, because exercise is not a countable noun, and many cigarettes because you can't count cigarettes all. It's talking about age. Long, it's about distance or time. How often is the frequency of time, right? Then we're gonna go to page 129. Over here you have to match the questions with the answers, and from letter B you have to write questions, and most of the questions you are going to choose, and I think it's like the difficult part. I mean, you have to write down the how often, how old, how much part over here, and then it is important to include an auxiliary. For example, over here in the first question you have the auxiliary does. Over here is the auxiliary is. How much junk food do? How long do? How many cigarettes does? Okay, so it is important to know what auxiliary are we going to use, and how are you going to know? You have to look the answer. For example, for do, this is a simple present answer. You have to choose what is the auxiliary for simple present for this verb. For all of the verbs it will be do or does. Okay, so for we're not going to use does, we're going to use do, so it will be we go to the gym 3 times a week, so it will be how often do you go to the gym, and then you have to continue. Okay, over here the auxiliary am, I think it will take, so maybe the auxiliary it will be will. I wake, este es el verbo que significa pesar, entonces está en presente, so it will be do or does. Ya tienen que ver ustedes cuál sería. Finally, we're going to go over this conversation, and what you have to do is to read it and write a new conversation. If you haven't space over here, it's okay, or if you want to add it over here, that's okay too. Just remember that you have to write down your name over the two pages, and to take a photo of the whole page, not just the part of the exercise. And remember that in order to save a document as a PDF, you have to go over here to save it, and it will be you just change it as a PDF, and it's something that it's really simple, and it will help you to handle in your projects. Okay, so that will be it for today, and I hope you have a nice day. Bye.